Today we are going to meal prep, or we're going to learn how to meal prep, and we are going to meal prep a very simple meal. We're going to do chicken, mixed vegetables, and rice. I'd usually say chicken, broccoli, and rice, but I believe the bag of frozen vegetables that I have behind me is mixed vegetables, so it's carrots, broccoli, and cauliflower, if I'm not mistaken, but very simple. So today is, for example, I'm going to use the Instant Pot or the slow cooker, or whatever you want to call it, for the chicken. I'm going to steam the vegetables, and I'm going to use the slow cooker or the rice cooker behind me. See right there, for the rice. You could swap out the different kind of vegetable that you're doing. You could cook the vegetables a different way. You could swap out the chicken for beef or steak or turkey or pork or something like that. But a lot of you are probably watching this video because you're not experienced with meal prep and it's very overwhelming. So I thought that's why we would start today with very, very simple chicken, broccoli, mixed vegetables, chicken, broccoli, and rice. So yeah, and by the way, you probably noticed that today's video is filmed a little bit differently than the videos that I was filming before for day 1 and day 2. I was using my laptop, and right now I'm using my phone. So I'm going to take you into my kitchen behind me. I don't know why it looks so dark. I promise my kitchen is not dark. But I'm going to switch the camera around, I believe. I hope this works. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to put the phone right up against the food, and I'm going to show you step by step how to do this. I anticipated when I was planning out this challenge that this video would be the longest, but I actually think that it might be the shortest because I'm going to cut out all of the cooking time in between. So for example, I'm going to put the rice in the rice cooker, I'm going to put the chicken in the Instant Pot, and I'm going to start steaming the vegetables. I'm going to show you each one, and then I'm going to cut to when they're all done, and then what I would do after that. So I guess I will see you in the kitchen. Okay, so we are in the kitchen, and this is obviously chicken. This is chicken thighs that I bought at the grocery store. They are fresh, they are not frozen. I have my spices out. Now spices, I mean, you can cook this chicken plain if you want. I obviously don't recommend it because I don't know, it'll taste fine, but you could make it taste more exciting. I went to the store, actually I'm gonna zoom over here really quickly over to my coffee counter, and I actually have this spice rack that I bought. You can go on Amazon and you can search spice rack, and you can basically buy spice thing that rotates, and I'm kind of OCD, and I bought a label maker, and I decided to make labels for each one. But you can buy a spice rack with all the spices in it, and then if you just Google which spices are most appropriate for chicken, I mean, it's a long list, but I basically chose for today cayenne pepper, basil, rosemary, and paprika. And again, I'm just gonna throw this chicken in the Instant Pot, and I'm gonna go I'm just gonna put some spices in there. I'm going to steam these vegetables. Don't mind my dishes in the sink from breakfast. And I'm going to steam these vegetables. And over here, I've got my box of rice that I'm going to use in the rice cooker. So I'm just going to cut to the next part where I'm going to put I think I'm going to put the chicken in the pressure cooker, and then I'm going to put the rice in the rice cooker, and then I'm going to put the vegetables in the steamer. So I'll see you there. Okay, so I'm sorry, don't mind if my head is cut off in the frame of the video, but due to the camera setup, this is the best that I could do. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the chicken out of the package, and I'm going to put it in the slow cooker. I'm going to add a few cups of water, and then I'm going to throw some spices in. Okay, I started filming, but I'm also going to be very, not sloppy, but I'm going to be very quick because a lot of people talk about how they don't have a lot of time to cook, and I want to emphasize that it can be really simple. And of course, you can always make it more complicated by adding more ingredients, but emphasis on just throwing it in and leaving it and forgetting it. So I'm going to take the chicken, I'm just going to put it in the pressure cooker. We're going to be pressure cooking today, not slow cooking. You can slow cook and you can marinate your chicken in, some spices and things like that to really let the spices soak into the chicken. But for the sake of time today, we're going to be pressure cooking. So the chicken is in the slow cooker or the pressure cooker. I will show you. Okay, so here we have the chicken in the pressure cooker. Now, I believe technically you can, but I always like to add just a little bit of water or a little bit of chicken broth. I don't have any chicken broth with me today, but just so in my mind, I would rather have my chicken be a lot more moist than dry and not even I don't want it to burn. That's the absolute last thing that I want to do. So I'm just going to take a little bit of water and I'm just going to add it in. And you can see already that we've basically covered the level of the chicken. And so that is all the water that we're going to need today. And then again, emphasis on speed. I'm just going to take the paprika and I'm going to just go like this. Do, 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 do. And the basil, just like this. And the cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper, I don't want it to like spill a bit. And rosemary. This one here, I might have to actually take the lid off of the thing. Actually, no, that's going to be fine. The rosemary, just like that. And then I do like to take my fork and just stir it around a little bit so that the spices really get evenly distributed with the chicken. Like that. Awesome. I think that is good because it's gonna not move around, but actually, you know what? Last thing I'm gonna add is a little bit of salt. I just took the lid off the shaker and I'm just gonna add some salt. I like things on the salty side. And I'm gonna cut to the next part. Okay, so I'm putting the lid on the pressure cooker to move this. Closed. That is closed for sure. And we are going to turn on pressure. We are going to turn it to poultry because that is chicken. And then we are going to go on low, medium, or high. I'm going to do medium for today. Actually, I'm going to go low. We're going to cook it a little bit faster. Okay, let's go. And now that is going to start cooking. All right, so the next stage that we're at is cooking the rice. Now you can see that I have long grain white rice. Now, fun fact, and it's kind of like a small discrepancy, but depending on the kind of rice that you cook, rice to water ratio. So because we're using long grain white rice, and again, this is just something simple that you can Google, we're going to use 1 cup of rice for every 1 3/4 cup of water. So I'm just going to put in, so for today, I did mention this in the beginning, but we are going to be cooking, I think 4 to 6 meals, depending on the size of the meal, in terms of the chicken that I bought. So and that's also how much I would probably cook at a time to maintain the freshness of my food. But I am also going to cook that same amount of rice. So I'm just going to do my best guess, and I'm going to do 3 cups of dry rice because it does expand and it does amount to a lot more. So I'm going to go add that, and then I'm going to turn it on. Okay, so I just went ahead and I put in the 3 cups of rice and the 3 times 1.75 amount of water, and then I'm just going to hit on. So my rice cooker is on, and I know when this is going to be done because it's just going to go click, and it's going to go from cook to warm. And then the last step, while the chicken is in the Instant Pot and while the rice is cooking, we are going to steam our vegetables. Okay, so I thought I would take you up close and show you how my steamer apparatus works. This is actually something that I'm really proud of and something I'm going to show you a little bit after about how I reheat food. So the way that this works is, and you can actually buy these things all at the thrift store or at your like Walmart. So again, emphasis on being really cheap, but we've just got a large pot with a lid. And then what I took is, I forget what this thing is called, not a coriander or something, but basically just a strainer in a way. And now forgive me, I'm going to expose myself and show you that my pot is a little bit burnt on the inside. I accidentally steamed my food one time without putting enough water in, so I don't really know what happened. It got black at the bottom, but I can assure you it is clean. So what I've done is I've just added, in emphasis on enough water, you can see that there's like 2 inches maybe of water at the bottom there. And that is obviously what we're going to use to steam our food. So now, and by the way, look over there, we've got our chicken is pressure cooking. We can see it's working. So while that is going, we are going to add our attachment on top. And then I'm just going to cut to putting the phone down. Just one sec. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to take our vegetables, and I love vegetables, so I don't think that I can have too many vegetables. I'm just going to really get them it. And the bag was already ripped open, but I'm just going to take the bag and I'm just going to pour some vegetables in the steamer like this. And I can kind of know just by visualization how many 4 to 6 meals it's going to be. Again, you can always, if you make too much rice, if you make too much vegetables, or if you take too much chicken, you can always put it in to a container after and save some for later and just eat it on its own or whatever. So now we've got our vegetables in the steamer and we're just going to put the lid on top. And I'm going to set my the stovetop to almost all the way, like 8 out of 9. Okay, and just to recap what we've done so far, we have the chicken in the pressure cooker. You can see it's already only 8 minutes away from being done. Over here, we have our vegetables in the steamer, and over here, we have our rice in the rice cooker. Not everyone might have a rice cooker and a pot and an Instant Pot. The reason why I chose these three, I guess, appliances was because, again, emphasis on speed. I thought while one thing is in one thing, while the chicken is in the Instant Pot, I could be cooking rice in the rice cooker. If you used the Instant Pot for everything, that would be totally fine, but it would all be mixed together. I really didn't want all my stuff mixed together. You could also use your oven. You could put things on the stove. For me, I did want to invest in a rice cooker just for rice. I like to steam my vegetables, so most of us have a pot and a lid, and then I like to use the pressure cooker, slow cooker for my chicken. Now we are going to wait for everything to cook, and when I hear the Instant Pot beep, I hear my vegetables are done after about 8 to 10 minutes. I've set a timer, by the way, I forgot to mention. And or when my rice cooker clicks and it goes up to warm, I'm going to put each one into my containers that I have over here. Okay, oh my god, I was in the other room and I heard the first appliance beep, which was the chicken. I can see, by the way, that my vegetables are steaming. They will be done in a few minutes, and the rice probably will be the last thing. So while the rice is cooking and while the vegetables are almost done steaming, we are going to Instant Pot. And by the way, with how Instant Pot works is it went down to 0 minutes from 10, and now it's counting up. It's just letting me know how long it's been keeping warm for. Because fun fact, I think this is one of the only appliances where that I trust that you can put something in there, and then if you need to leave the house, like especially if you're slow cooking, some people will slow cook their chicken for like 8 hours and they will marinate it in sauces and things like that. But it's just gonna now automatically go to the keep warm setting, much like the rice cooker. But I don't trust the rice cooker. If you've watched what's that TV show on TV where the rice cooker catches on fire? Oh my god, about the families. Anyway, we wouldn't do that. So now it's automatically just going to keep warm, and then if I left the house and when I get home, it's going to let me know how it's been keeping warm for. But of course, we can just do it right now to save time for the end. Okay, we are back, and now I'm going to take the chicken out of the Instant Pot. You're going to hear the scariest sound that I've ever heard. The first time that I ever turned off my Instant Pot, the pressure cooker, it was quite the jump scare, and so just get ready. Like when you click this button, it's not that loud this time, but I guess it's releasing the pressure from the pressure cooker. And to me, the first time I thought that, like I thought it was going to be like a bomb, and yeah. So anyway, please, when you click this and it releases the pressure cooker, as it says in the instructions, you have to wait for all the pressure to be released through the steam vent, because if you were to just take it out now, I'm assuming all the pressure we don't want to explode. So now we're just going to wait. We are going to wait. I guess I'll just cut the video. Okay, and now that all the pressure has been released from the steam vent, we can finally open. Actually, it's already clicked open. So it's already open, and now I'm just going to open it. And we are going to see, oh, there is all of the steam being released, and you can see our chicken is in there being cooked. I guess there's a little bit more water than the average person would add, but again, this is how much water I add. I used to, when I was a child, my aunt used to boil chicken, and a lot of my friends think that's really gross, but to me, again, the more moisture in my mind that you use during the cooking process, the more moisture is retained in the chicken, and therefore the longer the chicken will retain the moisture when you put it in the fridge. Because chicken, we all know, like one of the grossest things is like dried chicken breast is really hard to eat. So in my mind, the more moist that it is in the beginning when you're cooking it and put it in the fridge, the longer it's going to stay moist throughout the week. So I don't mind that it's basically marinating in my spice seasoning mix that I basically created. So now I'm just going to put the phone down so that I can put each of them in the meal prepped containers that I've laid out for myself. Okay, we are back. And by the way, I'm just going over to turn off the stove because I think that it is done. I can just tell. And I'll looking at the rice, and the rice looks like it's going to be done soon. But while the rice is cooking and finishing, we are going to take the chicken out and put it in our meal prep containers. So I'm just taking each piece of chicken out. And in most cases, when I'm cooking it on the stove or in the oven, I would make sure to see that it's cooked, but I know that it's 100% going to be cooked. So I'm just taking each piece out and I'm putting it in the container. Now, if you are someone that is following if you are tracking everything in MyFitnessPal, as you should, if you are just starting out and you're not sure how much everything looks in terms of how big a piece of chicken is, then I would probably put it on my food scale. I don't have my food scale out right now because I'm not in a phase in my fitness journey where I'm personally measuring my food. Again, I know how to eyeball it, so I'm going to now take the phone. I guess I could just do it like this. I can show you that I'm just going to do it one by one, and then I'm going to add more. So I'm going to take the chicken out with my tongs, and I'm going to put it in, take the chicken out, and put it in. Okay, and off camera, I just put all of the chicken in my meal prep containers. Now I'm going to bring over my meal prep containers over to the vegetables, and I'm going to add the vegetables to my containers, and then by then the rice should be done, and I will add the rice. Okay, so sorry for the awkward camera angle, but now I'm going to take the lid off of my vegetables. Super steamy and delicious. I think in this case it'll be up, and I'm going to dip in. I'm going to basically pour in to each of my meal prep containers. I might need a spoon at the end. Number 2. There's number 3. Number 4. And we have just a little bit left over, so I guess the right amount to each one. And there we go. And now we're just going to wait for the rice to cook, and we will add our rice. Okay, I wish that I caught this on camera, but literally 2 seconds after the last clip when I said, and now we're going to wait for the rice to cook, not even half a sec later, I heard click and it finished. So again, right on cue, we are ready to put our rice in our containers. Okay, so I tried to get a good camera angle so that I could fit everything in, but rice into the containers. And again, if you have your, to measure your food, you can do that as an extra set on the scale to measure the right amount, but for me, I'm just going to guesstimate because that's where I'm at right now. So I'm just going to slide over the chicken, maybe put it in the middle, like that, here, like that, like that. So now we have a good portion of each meal for the rice. So now I'm just going to scoop out my white rice, and I'm going to place it on the left-hand side. I can already tell that I made just the right amount. Hopefully I don't drop any. Really embarrassing. Boom. And one more. We might have a little bit left over, so that's totally fine. Rice is really, really, really cheap. Probably just gonna, I like my rice, so I'm just going to distribute it, everything that I've got left. And there we go. I'm just gonna leave this in there. And awesome. So as you can see, oh my God, look how great this looks. So well, it depends. So if you wanted to have this for lunch and dinner, cook double this portion as well if you want, or this could be your dinner every day and you could cook something else at the same time for lunch. So the last step is to just put our lids on our containers. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We will stack them up. Now, I've heard that you're supposed to keep your food that's warm, like this is still very much warm, out on the counter before you put it in the fridge. I don't know why that's the case, but I'm just going to put it in the fridge right away. But either way, we are done, guys. This video was like not even 10 minutes long, and look at that. Like, I left the room while the rice was cooking and while the chicken was cooking and while my vegetables were steaming for like 7 minutes. And then I came back and I did everything. And this is how many dishes we have to cook. Like, I can literally just I don't know, this will take me like not even 5 minutes to wash this and put this away. So that is that, and that is how simple meal prep is, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, just like the other days of the 4-day challenge, please leave your comments in the comment section. I would love to hear what you learned and if this was helpful. See you guys tomorrow.